The red light is on. Darren Griffin.
Mackenzie. Michaela.
Jeremy.
And I'm Brandy.
And I'm Nathaniel Griffin, and this is my presentation on bionics in the modern world. When most people think of bionics, the first thing that comes to mind is usually robotic limbs, stuff like cyborgs, Robocop, anything along those lines. But in reality, it can be from the simplest thing out there to the most complex thing out there. And today we're going to cover what all is researched in bionics and what it consists of, what people do using bionics. And then I'm going to show you a few examples of bionics that we use almost every day of our lives. What is bionics? Well, bionics is the research of living organisms and seeing exactly how they work and what they do, and trying to replicate what they do using mechanical systems or any sort of technology that we have. It's been around for hundreds of years, and the earliest recorded bionics research we've seen is Leonardo da Vinci. He sketched a bunch of flying machines after his study of birds, which we still have records of today. And bionics can range from things such as simple as Velcro all the way up to robotic limbs and anything in between. Our first example of bionics in the modern world is Velcro. It's one of the simplest things that we've ever made using bionics. It was designed by George de Mestral, and the idea for him came when he was walking through the Swiss Alps and kept having to pick annoying burrs off of his dog's fur. Well, he thought he would be able to make a very useful fastening system out of these using the same types of hooks that were on these burrs. The next example I have is the shark skin coating. As we all know, sharks are one of the apex predators in the ocean. And because of this, they're also one of the fastest. What we did is we took this coating they have on or the scales they have on their skin, and replicated it for many uses such as swimwear, boats, or even airplanes. This next example isn't really a design by us, but it goes to show how good or how efficient nature is at designing things. Some Japanese engineers who had designed the railway took a slime mold and put it down on a map of Tokyo with all the rail centers represented by oatmeal flakes. They let it grow for a day and a half, and after it had grown and designed efficient nutrient channels, they compared it to what they had actually designed for the railway system, and it was almost exactly the same. So that just goes to show you that if we had copied it, we would have gotten the same result we would have just by ourselves. The next example, and this is by far my favorite, is prosthetics. It can range from anything on the human body, not just limbs. It can go from eyes, ears, hearts, feet. And over the past few years, we've made extreme advancements in prosthetics to the point where they are almost identical to what you would lose if you had lost a limb. And the major goal with prosthetics is to make it to where your brain doesn't notice the difference. One story I read was about a guy who had hearing aids, and he went swimming at one point and completely forgot they were in because his brain had grown so used to having them in that there was no difference than if he had them, if he didn't have them, or he'd had. And in conclusion, bionics is a very useful science throughout the world, and it's been helping us for hundreds of years, or even longer for all we know, because we may have not recorded it. It's extremely important in modern technology, and without it we wouldn't be able to replace people's limbs, we wouldn't have airplanes, and a lot of things we would be missing these days that we use all the time. So the next time you are using a piece of technology, think about what in nature could have influenced the design of that piece of technology.
The end.